Sitting here waiting for my crumble cookies, I wanted to give you guys a little story time because I ran into somebody who literally, after I met them, my life went upside down. So I was at work one day and I was getting ready to go on my lunch. So I come outside and I'm walking to my car and this guy walks up to me and he has on like a head wrap. He looks like Arabian or Indian or something. He was like, something's telling me to give you a reading right now. And at that time I was really into like readings. I was really into crystals and I was really into zodiac signs. And so I was like, yeah, sure. Like I would love to get a reading done. I get in my car and I roll my driver's side window down. He proceeds to give me a reading and he said, write down a name of somebody that you want to rekindle things with, who's been on your mind heavy. And the person that was on my mind heavy that time, I don't want anything to do with that person. I wrote the name down and I held it in my hand. He proceeded to give me a crystal and he told me to hold it in my hand while he was giving me my reading. And so he was like telling me like I'm going to be successful, yada yada yada, I'm going to get all this money, blah blah blah, like just giving me the whole runaround, which I've always heard before from all these type of readings. He tried to figure out the name of the person, but the name of the person is so unique and so different that nobody else would have that name, so didn't figure out the name. So he gave me the crystal to keep and he was like, keep this with you at all times, it'll keep you safe, it's it's healing and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And so I ended up keeping the crystal. I go back into work and I'm there for the rest of the night, and in my head I just kept getting like a weird feeling, like all day, like the reading, the person, like I was so uneasy. I came back out to my car after work. I still had the crystal in my cup holder. Something just kept telling me like throw the crystal out, like throw it out. I went ahead and I threw it out my window because something just kept telling me this crystal's not good and you need to get rid of it now. So after I got rid of the crystal, I went home or whatever, and I kid you not, that same night or the next night, somebody tried to break into, well, they didn't try. They broke into my car and they tried to steal it. And it was two men in black hoodies. We have cameras in my house, so I saw everything go down. And it was very, very late at night. I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, which 3 o'clock is devil's hour. Out of all cars on the street, you want to pick mine to break into, but at that time I'm thinking, okay, Kias are the easiest car to break into and steal. So then I take my car to the shop to go get fixed. It was in there for like about a month or so. Before I got it back, I was searching around for a new car because I just feel like after I got my car broken into, I felt violated. So I just didn't feel comfortable driving in the same car that someone who I didn't invite into my car invaded my privacy. So I needed to search for a new car. The car that I wanted was a Mercedes-Benz. So I found a perfect place. I found the car that I wanted. The day I got my car back, I had set up an appointment to go like test drive the car, like see the car in person and see if it was what I wanted. And I come back home and tell me why, you guys, that same morning I got into an accident that could have potentially ended my life. I still have a bruise on my body that will never go away, that literally reminds me of what I went through and the pain and the crying and the suffering that I went through from that accident. So I went to go get a rental, and mind you, the process of this took way longer than a freaking month. So I was without my car for a month and I was driving home from work. I remember vividly, and I was going under an underpass and I just remember hearing like a big loud pop, and I thought it was a gunshot. I looked to the right side of my windshield and it is completely shattered. I don't know if somebody threw a glass bottle. I don't know what somebody threw, but it was hard enough to shatter my windshield. I'm over here like just wondering like, why does all this bad stuff keep happening to me? So I call my mom and I tell her what happened, and she's like, what is going on? And I'm like, I don't know, but like I seriously am so scared right now because I feel like somebody is trying to kill me. So the moral of the story is I was going to get crumble cookies. As I get out the car, there's this man and I look up and he's like, you're so beautiful and let me tell you why. I look at him and I remembered his face vividly. And I told him, don't talk to me. I said, no, don't talk to me. I said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, because I trust God. He is my Lord and Savior. He is my protector. He is my provider. He is everything in my book. For me to see that man again was so triggering because I feel like after I met him and after he did that reading on me, my whole life flipped upside down. And I'm not saying every healer and every reader is, negative or a bad or evil person or evil spirit, but there are some out there that are misguiding you, misleading you. But I just wanted to share that story because if you guys see any of those men walking around, please, please, please do not take a reading from them. And please, please, please do not let them touch you.
Mom texted me the other day and she asked if I could get mine and my daughter's hair from like our hairbrushes, put it in a baggie and bring it to her house. what are you trying to do now, Michelle? Is my thought, right? And I text her, okay, voodoo head ass bitch, like, what are you talking about? And she's like, no, I need your hair for the garden. My mom's boyfriend is like building a garden for my sister, who listen, like, cute, whatever. And I'm like, again, why do you need mine and your granddaughter's hair? Apparently, if you put like hair in the garden, it keeps away pesticides. Didn't know that. That's weird. And I said, you got 2 other kids that live with you in your house. She goes, you know, neither of them bald-headed bitches have any real hair, because my sisters wear wigs. You ate with that one, Michelle. You ate.
Every time how my assistant set me up to get robbed, and a week later she got gunned down on the highway. So I did this story time 2 years ago on my other TikTok page, but that page got deleted, and this comment has now gone viral. So I was like, you know what? Let me just do a story time, y'all. So this happened in 2021 when I started SRT Bree. I started a clothing brand and it was selling out like crazy. So I hired an assistant. But how I found this girl, I met her at the club. I thought she was cool. So I was like, you know what? I need help. Can I hire you to help me send these orders out? Because at the time, I also started my skincare line as well. So I had a lot of orders coming in and it was hard doing it by myself. So I hired her for about 2 months and everything was going good. This is before I had my office. I was working out of my apartment. So she would come over, help me pack orders and send them off. I always take a month-long birthday trip and I was preparing to leave to go to Thailand for 30 days. But I had a lot of orders coming in, so I asked her to come in early to help me out before I catch my flight. Red flag number 1, I was too comfortable around her. I used to have a lot of cash out and I would have my guns laying around. She saw that I had a safe in my apartment, so she thought I was an easy lick. So the day I asked her to come over to help me pack the stuff before I went on vacation, I just had like a really eerie vibe. Like I just had a gut feeling to not let this girl in my house. I don't know why. I just was like, okay, I don't think I want you over today. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything. So I texted her. I was like, you know, don't worry about coming over. And she was just like, to not let this girl in my house. I don't know why. I just was like, okay, I don't think I want you over today. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything. I texted her. I was like, you know, don't worry about coming over. And she was just like kind of persistent. Like, oh, I need the money type shit or whatever. I was just like, you know, no, it's okay. I got it taken care of. So later that night, like around 10 p.m., I'm packing up the orders. I hear footsteps by my front door and I hear like crying out my door. I'm like, okay, what the fuck going on? So I get up, I put my ear to the door. I hear little noises by the door. So I look at the peephole. I see 2 men masked up trying to break in my shit. So I go back to my room, call 911. I grab my musket tool and headed back towards the front door. So I'm on the phone with the police. I'm like, there's people trying to break into my house. Y'all better come quick because it's gonna be a motherfucking problem if they come in this house. So as I'm saying that on the phone to the police, I see a person in my porch looking through the window. And as he looking through the window, the first guy who was at the front door kicks in my door and he got hit with that 5. I hit him 3 times, twice in the chest, 1 in the chin. He took off running. He fired some shots back, but didn't hit none. The guy who was in the back ran to the front and got in the car as well. I'm looking at the car. I'm like, that is my assistant's car. So 20 minutes later, the police finally shows up and I told them, I was like, I got a camera in the living room, I got a Ring camera, and I got a dash camera in my car because they parked the getaway car in front of my car. So I have all of the different angles of how these motherfuckers tried to come and rob me. So they were like, do you need to go to the hospital because it was a blood trail? I was like, no, I ain't get hit. That's their blood. You need to be looking out for them because I definitely hit one of the guys 3 times. So boom, fast forward to the next day, she texted me again and was like, hey, Bree, I heard what happened. But mind you, I didn't tell nobody. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell my siblings. I didn't tell none of my homeboys in Atlanta. I didn't tell nobody what happened because I already knew what type of time she was on. So I didn't tell anybody what happened. She texted me and was like, I heard what happened. But I didn't respond because I was like, yo, okay. Like, I see what's going on. Say less. They dropped one of the guys off at the hospital. He ended up dying from the injuries. And then 5 days later, she got pumed up on the highway. And that case has not been solved yet. I was investigated for it, but I had nothing to do with that situation. I was in Thailand when it happened. Like I said, I went in Thailand for 30 days for my birthday. So I had nothing to do with that situation. So boom, those 2 died. And then a getaway driver ended up dying a couple months later at a gas station. So yeah, don't rob nobody.